Carlos here, coming to you from my little corner of the internet, where the only thing drier than my jokes is the San Diego summer. Seriously, I haven't seen a cloud in weeks. I think they're on vacation or something. I don't know. But if they were on vacation, they'd be coming here, right? Anyway, for those of you just tuning in, I'm a stand up comedian. My act is mostly me complaining about things. So naturally, I transition to YouTube, where I can complain all day about other people's comedy. It's a natural fit, like socks with sandals. You know, everybody does it. This channel is our one stop shop for all things funny on the interwebs. We dive into comedy podcasts, specials, live shows. Basically, if it made me laugh or question the fabric of reality, we're reacting to it. I'm like a comedy archaeologist digging through the digital dirt to find the truly hilarious gems or, the fossilized remains of a joke that didn't land and make fun of it. Today's reaction, we're talking about something that has sent shockwaves through the comedy world. We're talking about a video from my favorite online provocateurs, the analytical wizards over there at Podcast Cringe. This is their other channel, Podcast Cringe Bites. Seriously, if you're not following them, you're missing out. So go ahead and give them a like, a follow, subscribe, whatever. They're like the CSI Miami of podcast analysis, but with more dramatic zooms and less David Caruso. Go give them a follow and a like. And what colossal comedy crisis have they uncovered this time? The shocking and unbelievable, potentially career-ending news that Tom Segura might be quitting comedy. Yes, folks, you heard me right. According to the Podcast Cringe Bites, Mr. Where's My Mom At himself, Tom Segura, on the Joe Rogan Experience of all places, seems to be hinting at hanging up the mic. My first thought was, is this a bit? Everything with Tom's a bit, right? Is he just trying to get me to buy more YMH merch? Because if so, it's working. Hey, Tom, I just bought another pair of those high and tight jeans, brother. Keeping them high and tight, mommy. This is huge. This is like finding out your favorite taco truck is switching to vegan only. Vegan only. It changes everything. And the fact that this revelation comes from the meticulous minds at the Podcast Cringe who dissect every pause, every inflection, every subtle slight from these podcasts, every subtle piece means that this is not just a rumor. This is a theory. And theories, when it comes to comedy news, are basically facts, right? Yeah, pretty much. So join me as we peel back the layers of the comedic onion. Is Tom Segura really leaving us? Is he? Or is this just another masterful troll from the man who brought us Cool Guys? We're about to find out, thanks to Podcast Cringe and my ever-present need to talk about other people's problems. So let's get to reacting, y'all.
What's wrong with you? How? First of all, how did Netflix let you make this show?
Well, they wouldn't have let me make it if I just pitched it to them. Sometimes you have to remind yourself, like, of what your your dream, like your original.
All right, before he goes into that, what he's talking about, there's a new show on Netflix that was like written, produced, and stars Tom Segura or whatever. So yeah, you go watch it. I've watched the first episode. It's funny, and it's funny, creepy, weird, strange. Everything. If you like Tom Segura's comedy, you'll love this show, a series on Netflix. I forgot the name of it. Is it Rumors or? Give me a second. Let me check. Tom Segura Netflix show. Oh, the Rumors. It's this one right here. Bad Thoughts. Bad Thoughts on Netflix. Anyway, let's go back.
Dream, and my dream when I moved to LA had nothing to do with stand-up. I never thought of stand-up. I'm doing one this summer.
Yeah?
I'm doing a movie this summer, yeah.
What are you doing?
It's a crazy fucking comedy.
I didn't even know that was your original dream, and I've fucking known you forever.
I know, yeah.
By the way, if you want to see Tom do stand-up live, this is your last opportunity. I'm being dead.
Now, when I used to watch a lot of Tom Segura, I saw all his stand-up comedy, and then when he started doing podcasting, like really podcasting blew up. I started watching his podcasts, and at first I liked them, but I'm kind of over watching their podcasts, so now I'm just reacting to them, making fun of them. But No, I still watch all the podcasts. I'm just kidding. No, but I think I remember Tom Segura talking about when he started stand up comedy. It was kind of like an accident. He just kind of stumbled into it. It wasn't like his goal, his dream, and like, oh, I'm gonna go to do stand up comedy. You know, he was really looking for other to do something else, and then he just kind of fell into it. So that he's not lying there.
Dead serious. And you know that I'm kind of accurate. I will be shocked if you tour it all ever again.
The audience is split on Tom Segura's new Netflix show Bad Thoughts, with most people either loving it or hating it, with 3 stars on Google, 6.2 on IMDb, and 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. Tomatoes? Whatever. It's safe to say that Tom successfully stirred people up with his 6-episode series on Netflix, which was clearly written and produced to shock people with its graphic imagery of Tom soiling himself, as well as his unhealthy obsession with the male appendage. Seriously, what's with these guys? By the way, if you want to see my 40-minute breakdown of the show, check out the link in the description to my Patreon.
We're going to have to do a reaction to that video right there. What the F is wrong with Tom Segura? We're going to watch this too. Podcast Cringe. We're going to react to that one too. Because I really want to watch it. Because this show, Bad Thoughts, it's oh man. Tom Segura is screwed up in the head, right? He's kind of funny. If you ever watch YMH, I think is one of the best podcasts out there because Tom and Christina, they don't hold back and they're amazing together. It's a really good podcast. I think YMH is good. If Tom is not just talking about like his cars and watches and stuff like that, if it's on YMH where he's just being funny, because Christina just keeps him being funny and talking dumb shit. Sometimes they argue with each other and that's funny. Yeah, YMH. Your Mom's House, show the actual podcast Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina. 10 out of 10, I think, for sure. But anyway, if you watch that, you realize he has some very dark, creepy, crazy comedy thoughts. And one of the thoughts on YMH is about that country singer. Is it Garth Brooks? Garth. I think it's Garth Brooks. And he's always talking about how he has like people tied up somewhere and like people tied up in the basement or something, or he's like a serial killer. I don't know. He has some crazy conspiracy theory about Garth Brooks. I think it's Garth Brooks. But anyway, in this show, one of the episodes, he's like a country singer that has like a concentration camp of people that he like uses them to come up with ideas for his songs or something. Just like torturing these poor people, but he like yeah, it's funny. You should watch it. Oh, okay. There's a commercial. Sorry guys, I'm poor. I really am poor. I can't pay for YouTube Premium, so we'll just hit the skip right there.
That came out of all the promotion Tom's been doing for Bad Thoughts is something that Joe Rogan didn't even know himself. Tom Segura never wanted to be a stand-up comedian. He's always wanted to be an actor. And now that he's finally got his foot in the door with Netflix, Tom's planning to take a break from stand-up comedy and pursue his Hollywood dreams. I'm going to get into all those details in a moment, but first I want to explain how Tom basically bought his way into Hollywood. What people don't realize is that Tom didn't go down the conventional route to get his show made. Tom has a long-standing relationship with Netflix, having released all 5 of his comedy specials through them, going back to 2014, as well as appearing on The Roast of Tom Brady, alongside his Two Bears co-host and longtime friend, Bert
Kreischer. Man, yeah, dude. If you know the story, like Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, when they talk about when they first started, Tom Segura was one of the first comedians to get like a special on Netflix. And it was when Netflix was just starting. Everybody else was doing like HBO specials. And he did like a Netflix special and everyone was like, why? And he's like, why not? You know? And he started telling people to like, dude, do a special on Netflix, you know? So I think he got Bert into doing a Netflix special, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that's kind of where he started blowing up, from the Netflix specials.
Kreischer, also known as the Bloated Grape. More recently, though, he appeared in Kill Tony's Netflix debut alongside tall and funny comedian Joe Rogan. So then, if Tom had sold 5 comedy specials to them,
it would not be Podcast Cringe if he wasn't throwing jabs, hooks, and dirt in Joe Rogan's eyes. He always got to talk trash about Joe Rogan. He basically just called him short and not funny. Okay.
them and been invited to their biggest live comedy roast in history, why couldn't he pitch them his new show, Bad Thoughts?
I've always liked movies, like features, right? But it's a huge undertaking to get a feature made, but I liked short films because it feels like you're making a movie, like a mini movie, right?
Right.
And it feels much more accessible to do. So I had written all these like short stories, short films. And I called my friend Rami Hashash and I was like, hey, I have a break coming up on tour. Let's shoot a short film because we'd done other things before. He was like, what if we did 3 of these? I was like, how can we do 3 of them? He's like, we'll shoot like 11 days in a row. We can do 3 of these stories. After we shot those 3, it was clear that we had like the the bones of a show. Like what if we did a show that was based on short stories, like short films basically. And I don't know, there's another few that were in the original. And when I sent them in to Netflix, they were like, this is f***ing insane, but like we'll make 6 episodes of this. And yeah, they were just like, this is crazy.
It's kind of like a funny, weirder Black Mirror. It's like I don't know. It's weird. It's difficult to describe this show, but it's I never like watching that type of TV series. That's why I haven't seen all of it. I like watching a TV series that I could binge, like a story that's continuous, that that every episode, follows the previous episode and it's like an ongoing story. That's what I like. And this is like every episode, it's its own story. Weird, crazy, dark, funny, dark humor-ish type of thing. And it's kind of hard for me to watch that kind of stuff. I don't know why. I don't like watching those TV series that the episodes do not follow each other, because then I like get invested into a character in this episode. The next episode is a totally different character, and I hate that. But there's people that love that kind of stuff, and that's kind of what his show is, like just a bunch of short stories each episode.
But it's been the most fun I've ever had, dude.
Thank God Tom Segura's a multi-millionaire who runs a podcast studio and has connections throughout the industry, because otherwise, by his own admission, his show never would have been made. But the road to getting Netflix to buy his new idea wasn't as simple as he was just making it out to be. This wasn't just some idea he had last year and threw together with his buddy who helped him produce 3 of the stories to pitch to Netflix. This goes back at least 3 years ago.
¿Quieres emprender?
All right, let's go.
Part of shooting Bad Thoughts where you were heavier, like one sketch where you were heavy.
Yeah.
What sketch was that? What I saw one sketch, you looked like fatter than the other sketches.
Yeah, because I shot it 3 years ago. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when I shot the pilot, there was no deal. I just shot it on my own. And yeah, it's notable. And I kept bringing it up. I was like, shouldn't we make like a comment about it? It's that one. It's the coffee one. And everyone was like, no. You know how other people are like, no. What do you mean? I'm like, you don't think people will notice? And they're like, no. I'm like, how can they not notice? I'm 40 pounds heavier. And they're like, I don't think anyone will notice.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. I noticed it straight away and thought they must have put Tom in a fat suit. But it checks out that he shot the cafe story as a pilot episode 3 years ago in the hopes of getting a deal. So then why did it take 3 years to get Netflix to bite? And not only that, why did he have to go and...
That's funny. For those of you not familiar with the Tom Segura story, I don't know if 3 years ago, I don't know how long ago it was that he broke his arm. But there's a video you could watch online where... Actually, let's watch it. Let's see. Tom Segura breaking his arm and leg. So he was playing basketball. Yeah, Tom Segura. He was playing basketball with Bert Kreischer, and right there, he broke his arm and his leg. He broke his arm and his leg right there. Anyway, I don't want to watch it anymore. But when that happened, Tom Segura kind of realized that he was too fat, too heavy for his age. So he decided to start working out, dieting, just doing everything he could, got on testosterone and all these things. And he just kind of transformed himself. Like low key, I'm proud of this dude. With that, about that, like, good for him, bro. Like, he used to be fat and broke his arm and leg because he wasn't not athletic at all. Wasn't not. He wasn't athletic. He was not athletic at all. I'm Mexican. Leave me alone. English is my second language. Anyway, he's lost so much weight. He's gotten in shape, and that's a cool thing to watch. But yeah, he used to be fat as hell, and now he's in shape. Compared to how he used to be. So 3 years, yeah, it's a huge difference. 3 years of dieting and testosterone and working out and everything. He's definitely a different person now.
And shoot 3 more in addition to the pilot for them to take a look at it when he'd been doing deals with them for over a decade already. Clearly, Netflix weren't prepared to take a risk on Tom's idea without seeing it on screen, as opposed to a short pitch meeting with a script, which is how most shows and movies are made these days. Having said that, it's not unheard for young directors and producers to make a short film, or even just shoot a couple of scenes for a studio before getting the green light. Actually, fun fact, Harvey Weinstein was one of the first Hollywood producers to travel around the world to film festivals and buy up the options to short films so he could sell them to studios as feature films. True story. Anyway, lucky for Tom Segura, he didn't have to go down that route with Harvey Weinstein because he's got millions of dollars burning a hole in his pocket to spend on producing his own showreel for all the suits over at Netflix. After all, he never wanted to be a comedian in the first place. His heart was set on Hollywood from the beginning.
All right, this commercial is gonna make us stop right here because this is Podcast Cringe. Bites. They don't have that many videos yet. They just started this. But you can go to the main YouTube channel, Podcast Cringe, but this is the video.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it right there because I don't want you guys to watch the whole video on my channel. So go over to Podcast Cringe Bites, give them a follow, give them a like, watch the full video there. We're gonna stop here. We just wanted a gist of what the video is about. So basically, Podcast Cringe is talking about he thinks Tom Segura is going to stop stand-up comedy because he's going to pursue what he always wanted to do, which is acting, making movies, making TV shows, stuff like that, which I've heard a lot of comedians say that that's like their goal is to be on TV. A lot of rappers, their goal is to be on TV. A lot of people that do entertainment in general want to be on TV and movies and stuff like that. There's some comedians that only want to do stand-up comedy. Like me, I only like doing funny things and YouTube videos. Content creation and stand-up comedy, I'm cool with that. I would never want to do a movie or a TV show. Hell no. Never. It's not my thing. Even though I went to school of performing arts, elementary school, even though I did plays and musicals, learned how to play instruments, had dancing classes and acting classes and voice classes, everything. I did so many musicals and plays, theater, yeah. Anyway, that was just, as a kid, I just wanted to be entertaining people, I would love to do plays. I like doing plays. I would not want to do a movie or a TV show, but plays, theater, I like that. I like being on stage live in front of people. That's why I like stand-up comedy. But anyway, so that's why they think Tom Segura is quitting stand-up comedy. Let me know what you think. Do you think he's actually going to quit? I think he might. At least for a while. Maybe he'll come back to it later. But yeah, he's really focused on these shows and movies for now. So see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.